Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Tuesday, September 1st, 2009. Well, folks, we're seeing some selling on Wall Street, some pretty dramatic selling on that, as the markets are down across the board. The Dow is down 165 points, the Nasdaq down 35, S&P down about 18. That's basically 1.75% on the day to the downside. Very, very nice selling going on here, and it was really an interesting morning because of how it played out. Initially, we gapped slightly lower. You can see the gap down right here on the charts on my 10-minute SPY. Now, remember, the 10-minute SPY really showing us what the 10-minute S&P would show us. And all of a sudden, you had this monster bid come in the market early on, and the markets raced up from their minor gap down all the way up to a master level at 103.15. 103.15 happens to be the pivot high from 2 Fridays ago, which is very, very significant to our premium subscribers, as we highlighted that as one of the master levels to watch for. In addition, the 102 level was a very, very big level to watch. Whether or not we could get below it intraday could signal more selling. Well, let me just tell you, we got economic news that came out at 10 o'clock. We got pending home sales, ISM numbers, construction spending. They were not exactly that bad, but if you look closely at the numbers, they're not that good either. You're seeing a lot of stuff coming in, and improvement based on government bailout stimulus money, not necessarily the underlying keys that you want to see, which is consumer spending. And we've highlighted that to our premium guys over the past week, plus a major call we've been calling for the last couple weeks for this week, and it looks to be in progress now. So a monster call there for those of you that are premium guys. You are fully aware and fully on the right side of that trade to the downside, as you're in the money very nicely, as am I. So the bottom line, there you see it, guys. Nice drop today. We're going to see what happens here. Do we float higher as volume gets lighter? Because please look, by the way, guys, volume today is huge. Absolutely huge. We've done more volume by now, and it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, than we had all of yesterday and all of the day before and so forth. So really some monstrous volume coming into this market today. However, having said that, volume is beginning to lighten up. You can see as you're going sideways now down here at the lows, the market is getting lighter and lighter in volume. That tends to give a little bit of a neutral bias on the market for more downside. So you don't necessarily know if you're going to get more downside off of this. In fact, you could even float up a little bit. Although I will say this, the market is very, very kind of scared right now. You get that sense that people are saying, wait a minute, what's going on? I thought this market was fine. I thought everything was going to be hunky-dory, and now all of a sudden you have a drop like this. And this was a huge drop because, keep in mind, guys, this market gapped lower, ran up to the point where the Dow was up over 50 points today, and then cascaded down to the point where we're down now 165 points on the downside. So you're really having a reversal of over 200 points from the highs of the day, well over 200, and that is giving markets a little bit, and the individual investor out there, a little bit of nervousness. Now, guys, lots of contrarian indicators out there. We'll have to see how it plays out. But again, the key is to be on the right side of the trade here, and you have to pay attention. The research center for our premium subscribers at InTheMoneyStocks.com is really the area where you're going to get that information. Our pivot calls, our cycle turn dates, and everything is involved there, along with Pro Trader Watch List, hot charts, and alerts. By the way, hot charts and alerts continue to nail it out of the park. Unbelievable on the calls there. But nonetheless, in any case, the guidance there is key. So again, look at the levels. We're watching a level here, master level right here at 100.50. You can see how it's holding up very, very nicely. You got a little bit below it. You never confirmed that move down. Confirmation is the secondary close below that on the 10-minute chart. Right now, you're holding 100.50. That's very good. If you do break below that, you're going to go to probably 100 even number, which would be a key level, very, very much so. On the upside, if you start to make a move up, you're going to look for this 101 level to be resistance, and then you have this slanted blue trend line. Very, very important to watch this stuff, all right? Again, one thing that I'm just catching off the corner of my eyes, the volume is getting lighter now, and that tends to have a little bit of a neutral to possibly upside bias. The one question will be is there just so much negativity out there you don't get more out of it? Maybe we could even sell off if volume picks up later in the day today. That's another way of looking at it. Into 3, 4 o'clock time frame, into that last hour of trading, oftentimes you'll get a pickup in volume. If that happens, do we sell off? We'll have to watch this very, very closely to see where we close today. What does it tell us about tomorrow? What does it tell us about our cycle date that we have gotten alerted to our premium guys over the past couple weeks to be ready for on this specific week? So it's another huge call out there to watch for this date here to be a key level, and you're starting to see it play out beautifully to a T. The question is, where do we go? Are we going to bounce tomorrow? Are we going to fall more tomorrow? Are we going to head back up? Is this going to be just a buying opportunity? All those are questions that need to be looked at, and you just can find it in the charts. The charts will tell you everything to know. So again, nice little sell-off. I want to show you the 60-minute here because look at this move on the 60-minute, guys. And this is how you also knew that 100 spot 50 would be perfect support to play as a scalp to the long side when we pierced it. Why? Because the 60-minute chart dumped all the way to the 200 moving average. First hit of the 200 in a long, long time on the 60-minute because we've had such a monster move up. And sure enough, take a look. What has happened right here? We're hovering right on top of this 200 moving average here. That's a very, very important. Now, if we start to break it, you're going to go on the 60-minute to the next pivot. And I'm going to put that in right here, actually, just by drawing it across. This would be your next minor level to watch for. That's at 100 and 0.25, 100 spot 25. Below that, if you get through that, you're going to the even number of 100 or a little bit below, maybe 99, 90, somewhere right in that range. But right now, the 200 is holding up. You have to respect the 200 for now, and we'll continue to follow it to see if that's key. All right, again, you're starting to see the market tick down just a little bit here. We want to see what level is going to get hit. We're right at that 100 spot 25 now. This is the new low of the day as markets are picking up volume a little bit to the downside. And again, we're giving this video live as we see it, as I see it, as we do the analysis. We're right touching this blue trend line. This is the pivot high going back to the 19th of August. Very, very important level. If you get through that, you're looking at 99.90 to 100 as being your next major level. Watch that very, 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 very closely as it's going to be a key level right around that even number. Now, if you want to look at the daily, folks, you can see, look at the daily here. We've been on a monster run. We rolled over, but you have to wonder, where's this market going to bounce? Because you know it's going to get a bounce. It's just a matter of where, because there's going to be a lot of money waiting to jump in on any pullback. So you have to be ready for that as well. Again, we'll cover that in the research center. You are seeing a nice little rally on the dollar, guys. And how many times have I done these videos, the free ones and the premium ones at night, where I go into how the dollar is key? Check this out, guys. Look at this move on the dollar today. Amazing move on the dollar to the upside. Guess what? The market dumping out. Now look at this. Early in the day, we gapped up and actually fell on the dollar. The dollar actually fell in the first half hour of trading. What did the markets do there on that first portion of trading? They actually rallied. Look at that move up on the dollar. All right, so my point is this. The markets continue to be focused on what the dollar is doing every which way. All right, so notice how the dollar falls initially, the markets rally up. Then the dollar rallies insanely, huge rally in the dollar, and the markets just spike way down. You can see this trend line that just came into frame here on the intraday at 100 spot 20 to 25. That's what we just touched. That's new support right there. And then the next level after that, as I mentioned on the 60-minute, will be 100 to 99.90, right in that range to look for a possibility of a bounce. Again, volume, look at the candle starting to pick up on volume. You still have another minute or so in this candle, so it will move up in more volume. But you can see when volume increases in this market, it happens to be sell volume. When volume is light, the market has a tendency to bounce. All this is extremely important to recognize, and you got to be on top of this. The dollar has a key play. Oil today is basically slightly lower. That's after a big down day yesterday. So obviously you're seeing a little more downside today. A good rollover. Oil was actually higher nicely and then rolled over. Now sitting right here below yesterday's lows. Here was yesterday's lows. So you can see we're just slightly lower than yesterday's lows on the dollar. The GLD gold is basically neutral. Now, why would gold be neutral to positive if the markets are selling off? Well, obviously, remember, gold has a key capacity to it, which is a fear index. When people get worried, they jump into gold. So in a little bit, you're seeing a little bit of a neutralization. Yes, the dollar's higher. That generally would drive down gold. But at the same time, you see fear in the markets. That's pushing gold up a little, and you have a neutral day on gold. Very, very interesting stuff here, guys. Again, let's go back to the spiders. Let's take a look. You can see the bouncing off this key level right here. This is dollar related directly, all right? Fear of the economy, reality check, you might want to say as well. That's going to be very, very key. Look at the nice little spike in volume in that candle. All right, folks, enough for today. I don't want to give you guys too much. Come join the research center at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Also, the chat room is fantastic. We're giving live play-by-play of this, whatever's going on. We're giving live play-by-play with key levels, key calls throughout the day, every day, nonstop when the markets are open. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Enjoy the shorts, those of you that were on board with us on the call in the research center and into the chat room.